I don't know if I'm tripping or if I'm misinterpreting what I'm seeing here, but I think, and we got to verify this, okay? Because other people need to try this out, and I need to make sure that I'm not tripping over here, okay? It looks like the FX3 can shoot open gate, but it can only do it into the Atomos Ninja 5. What happened was I hooked up my FX3 to my Ninja V, and I set my FX3 into photo mode, right? So you have all these different, like you got shutter priority, aperture priority settings, or whatever. So I set it to shutter priority, and I set it to S-Log3, and the color mode was what is it, S-Log3 Cine or whatever, right? I noticed that on the Ninja 5, I had, the little bars on the side. And I thought, okay, yeah, that's because it's kind of like mimicking a 3:2 aspect ratio, right? It's just cutting off the sides. But then when I set the camera to 16:9, the image zoomed in. But then when I set it back to 3:2, photo mode, it actually gave me more top and bottom image. It's like it almost like went back, right? It like zoomed out to show me more of the image. Now, so I thought, okay, man, something is not right here, okay? And by the way, I was shooting in 4K 60 frames per second and XAVC SI. So then I take the footage and I put it in DaVinci Resolve. And DaVinci Resolve interprets the image as 40 by 2160. That would be just 16:9 or whatever. But when I look at this back and forth, you can look at it right here. You can see that the image, it's like you have more latitude on the top and the bottom. You can see clearly here in the image on the bottom of my desk. You can see how there's more footage on the bottom and more footage on the top, but the sides remain the same. So I don't know how to interpret this, man. I need to kind of really understand if this is kind of like bypassing, Sony's internal recording, and that's why the Ninja 5 can record in 3:2, or what the deal is. But I will tell you that the image looks very noisy. It's like the noise reduction is not being applied. So I'm shooting here in ProRes 422, not HQ, not the lower one. It's ProRes 422, and the footage just looks really, really grainy. But it is in S-Log3, so I was able to color grade it like I normally do, and apply some very heavy noise reduction. Now, my mistake. I really should have shot this whole thing on a tripod, so you can the shaking is kind of bothering me. But I really should have paid attention to my exposure because, as we all know, S-Log3 needs to be overexposed a little bit, and then, you bring it down in post. I was exposed at, if you look at the exposure value, I was at 0 because it was basically all auto. It was shutter priority. Yeah, I mean, I should have exposed it and then brought it down in post, and I think I would have probably got a much cleaner image. But to be honest with you, when I look at the image, the grain and how the image looks, it looks like ProRes RAW. Like ProRes RAW, doesn't have that crazy heavy noise reduction built in, like how Sony's are. I can tell you, I was shooting at around 800 ISO, so very, very low, but I was not overexposing like I should be. So, man, I don't know, guys, but you tell me what you think, and if you can replicate this. Does this look like 3:2 open gate to you? Because I don't know, man. To me, it seems like it is, because you are getting more image on the top and on the bottom, but the sides remain the same. So, I mean, like I said, I do have an XH2S Fujifilm that does truly shoot 3:2, but I never had to do this back and forth, switching from 16:9 to 3:2 and look at it on my Ninja. So I don't know, guys. I thought this was an interesting thing that it was worth sharing. So yeah, you guys let me know what you think. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.